Hello, everyone. Welcome to MCA Connect's presentation of the modern data estate for automotive manufacturers. I'm going to give everyone just another minute or two to join. And while we're waiting, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'm Mitch Turnbow, and I work in business development here at MCA Connect, and I specialize in our automotive industry solutions and offerings. I think we're right at a good time to go ahead and get started. Some more people may be joining us as we go through, but that's quite all right. And let's go ahead and start by covering what we will be covering in today's presentation. So we're going to start off with what is the modern data estate. We're going to go over what are some of the problems with the data model of the past. We'll walk through the steps to develop a data estate in your organization. We're going to bring you MCA Connect's approach to the automotive data estate, walk you through our operational excellence roadmap, and of course, finish off with some customer success stories. So who is MCA Connect? The picture to your right probably looks a lot like the ones we'll find under the About Us section of many of your websites. Like all of you, MCA Connect has a worldwide presence with successful implementations in 42 countries. We take the extensive knowledge built up from our nearly 20 years of global implementations and apply it to your global operations and technology strategy. At MCA, we take our holistic industry knowledge in manufacturing and apply our focused expertise in specialized verticals like automotive. We use a strategic, value-driven implementation approach to generate millions of dollars in ROI for our customers. And our proven track record as a full-service partner has led to years of accolades and awards, which has solidified our amazing partnership with Microsoft. Today, you'll be hearing from Doug Bulla, our Senior VP of Solution Development, with over 30 years of experience working with Tier 1 automotive suppliers, and Brad Smith, who's been working in the Microsoft Analytics ecosphere for 30 years as well. What that gives us is a perfect combination of subject matter experts to walk you through the modern data estate for automotive manufacturers. And with that, I'll pass it over to Brad to start things off.
Terrific. Thank you, Mitch, and thank you everyone for joining us today. So let's talk about the modern data platform for manufacturing optimization. The modern data platform is the digital thread that connects all of your systems and processes throughout the enterprise. It is defined by the Microsoft Cloud Adoption Framework for Azure and supports the rise of predictive analytics by enabling us to evolve from information to optimization by turning raw operational data into rich, actionable information. The rise of data as a strategic asset is key to unlocking the full potential of your manufacturing optimization journey. Data is the anchor that supports the ways in which you can transform your workforce, build more agile factories, create more resilient supply chains, engage customers in new ways, and unlock innovation. A core data foundation coupled with Microsoft tools and technology will enable you to evolve your business in ways which we haven't seen before. IoT on the shop floor, devices for the connected worker, evolving from an analog supply chain to a digital supply chain, AI for health and safety, digital twin simulations, and HoloLens for process and workflow automation are examples of innovation that connect through a modern data platform. The modern data platform is not a singular technical solution, rather it combines people, process, performance, and technology to get you to the answers that you need to drive towards manufacturing optimization. People and process define the business drivers that are important to understand in the near term. Performance defines the tools used to interact with the data, and technology is the glue that ties all of this together. Using the Azure cloud, we can combine structured and unstructured data from all of your systems in all of your locations to provide a 360-degree view of the business, unlocking the potential for your most important corporate asset, your data. The modern data platform helps you get to know what your data knows. However, every day, your business fights to grow and remain competitive and profitable and drive innovation. And as you're well aware, these are not unique problems. Your competitors are doing the same, and sometimes your competition is just one mouse click or one Google search away. In the disciplines of manufacturing and supply chain management, time is a currency and work is the enemy of time. Everything is work in process, and clawing back time is a key driver to manufacturing optimization. This meeting is WIP. The time it takes to fill out your expense report is WIP. the effort to create an Excel spreadsheet from various data sources is WIP. Anything we can do to reduce WIP will allow us more time to focus on the business. To quote Rob Roden from the Harvard case study, Free, Perfect, and Now, it is your supply chain versus your competitors that truly compete. Every part, product, process, handoff, extended partner, truck, box, screw, bolt, person, forecast, throughout the globe has to be connected in the most efficient manner possible. Well-designed, flexible, scalable software solutions with world-class implementation is required to compete in 2021 and beyond. Some say that COVID accelerated digital transformation in business and compressed 10 years of natural evolution into 10 months, which is why we're here. You have the answers to address many of these challenges. It's in your data. However, data is everywhere, but it is siloed in operational systems and often difficult to get to. Most businesses typically look something like this: day-to-day operational reporting from each system and possibly a data mart or two, combined data for limited cross-system reporting. Some data is in the cloud, some's on-prem, some is timely, some is not. People aren't sharing information. There's little ability to gain insights, and there are probably issues with data governance. What we see here is operational reporting, which is very important for the day-to-day, but is rarely strategic and is often not timely. For example, if you wanted to assess the financial impact of a price increase of a supplier material that is contained in multiple bills of material, you would probably embark on a complex Excel exercise gathering data from various systems and crunching numbers until you came up with an answer. A challenging problem to solve in this current environment. The data estate, built on the modern data platform, removes these barriers by using the Azure cloud to combine data from all of these systems in a seamless cloud environment. Physical and virtual barriers are removed, and data is combined to provide the answers that you are looking for. And just for some context, this is a small representation of the Azure tools and services that you have available to develop your modern data platform. The Azure Cloud Stack provides us with unlimited flexible compute and storage, including new tools around analytics, AI, and machine learning. All of this combines to enable us to process data at previously unattainable rates. Barriers surrounding highly structured data marts and data warehouses have been broken down, and we can now combine data in any form and surface it for analytics and decision making. This modern data platform enables you to be more nimble in reacting to the forces that drive your business. A data estate enables you to look out the windshield instead of the rearview mirror. However, this isn't an easy problem to solve. However, transforming to a data-driven organization is the first step. In order to efficiently manage this vast amount of data, the data estate is guided by a data-driven approach, which focuses on using data for process improvement and decision support. The first step is to achieve executive alignment around a number of key business drivers that you identify in order to prioritize areas on which to first focus for maximum benefit. Approaching the problem from a process perspective enables us to identify the KPIs and processes that are important to the business and source the data to support those KPIs, no matter where the data lives. Prioritizing business drivers helps us to develop an analytics roadmap that aligns with the executive vision and addresses gaps in existing governance, process, and tools. We also align the KPIs to focus on the most important drivers first. The prioritized KPIs and tasks are arranged in a lean pick chart for easy identification of areas to address for the greatest impact in the shortest time. The first group to grab our attention are the processes and KPIs that are in the implement quadrant. These have been identified as the easiest to implement with the highest payoff. The next group lie in the possible and challenge quadrants and will be prioritized based on value to the organization. And finally, the kill group will most likely remain as is until the organization is ready to address these difficult, low payoff processes. So, getting back to our modern data platform vision, we've identified the technology needed to break down our barriers. We've identified our business drivers that are most important to us at this point in time, and we have prioritized our tasks to gain the most benefit in the least amount of time. In addition, MCA has developed a number of solutions to provide a quick start for our data estate. Each of these solutions stands on their own. However, data integration helps to rapidly build out the foundation of an estate, providing the framework to evolve from operational reporting to analytical analysis. For example, we can connect shop floor OEE to demand planning to produce a real-time production plan based on how efficiently your shop floor is running. Azure IoT Hub, Data Lake, and Power Apps enables us to pull real-time OEE from the shop floor, connect to our ERP, and produce an updated production plan in Dataverse to be shared with our MES. Another business process that traditionally has significant non-value added activity is the management of OEM RFQ responses and managing the program once the bid has been awarded. By utilizing our bid response solution, we lean out the processes of responding efficiently and accurately to bids. Then all of this information flows right into our program management solution, making for a smooth and thorough transition. And container tracking uses Power Automate RPA and Power BI to track and visualize all of your worldwide shipments in near real time. The data estate is the thread to connect all of these systems across processes and enables you to focus on operational excellence. So how are we going to get this done? This is a big undertaking with lots of inherent complexity, no question about it. Incorporating an agile process is the key to taking small enough steps to keep things manageable while laying out an iterative roadmap to maintain alignment around priorities. The process for implementing a data estate starts with an operational excellence phase to develop a roadmap. This ensures top-down alignment, which prioritizes and develops measurable success factors for each process area. Once defined, an agile phased project delivery approach is used to source, ingest, prep, and serve the data required for analytics and decision support. Each process or KPI selected from the pick chart will iterate through this cadence, ensure that the most impactful processes are addressed first. And finally, we periodically review and reset our operational excellence goals to ensure we're staying in sync with the business. You already have most, if not all, of the data you need. Investing in developing a data estate for improved decision support will enable you to realize the value of this most important asset. This is nothing new. You've probably seen this approach before. It's been around for decades. However, the Azure Cloud Framework supporting our people, process, performance, and technology approach allows us to rapidly address this problem in ways we couldn't in the past. This is a very evolutionary and iterative approach that will show quick results that build upon themselves in rapid succession. As noted, the first step is to establish priorities. The Operational Excellence Discovery Workshop is a 4 to 6 week exercise consisting of high-level interviews with executives, senior management, and subject matter experts. And our goal is to develop the pick chart of key processes and KPIs. The kickoff phase establishes data estate priorities. The analysis phase digs deeper to better understand systems, governance, tools, and to prioritize process areas into a lean pick chart. Once our analysis is complete, we'll reconvene to present our findings. Our deliverables will consist of a high-level review of governance, KPIs, and process area prioritization, along with a recommended business drivers roadmap, outlining our approach and how best to proceed with your data estate journey. In order to accomplish these goals, we'll need some time from various execs to help establish priorities, senior management to help guide analysis, and subject matter experts to help dig into the details. This discovery workshop is the key to unlocking your data priorities and will be the foundation of your roadmap going forward. Earlier, we referenced this would not be an easy undertaking. There are a lot of moving parts around people, process, performance, and technology, but we have to realize the cost of not doing something. How much further behind are we putting ourselves by not utilizing the data assets that we already have? There will always be more data. There will always be more connections and more complexity. Your business doesn't stand still, and neither does your data. The sooner you start this journey, the sooner you'll start realizing tangible results, reducing WIP, and gaining more time. Fortunately, you're talking to the right partner who can help you solve this problem. Our agile approach gets us results quickly, plus we're really good at process, we're really good at technology, and we know your industry. It is our primary focus. And as you can see from these quotes, our customers agree. Let MCA Connect help you connect to your data so you can know what your data knows as you continue to drive towards operational excellence. So that wraps up our presentation around the modern data platform. Let's go through some examples. I'm going to now hand the presentation over to Doug Bulla to talk us through some typically tedious processes that we have addressed using the modern data platform built on the Azure stack. Doug,
Thanks,
you there?
Brad.
Ready to take it away?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, I think a key component to the technology that I wanted to share with you are just all the different ways that we can leverage these components and create very specific, very cost reduction oriented applications to assist you in completing that picture of your entire data estate in a fashion that allows you to take advantage of some of the cross-functional, analysis and analytics. One of the applications that very simple application where we basically allow you to check a tool out of a tool room and do it from your phone. Now, what's nice about this is you have the app on your phone, you scan the 2D barcode or the serial number of the tool you're taking out of the room, it assigns it to you, and when you come back in to return it, it's actually doing face recognition on your phone to recognize who you are, and it's also doing geofencing to analyze, are you indeed in the tool room where you should be returning the tool. So by quickly doing face recognition, quickly doing scanning of the asset that you're checking out, and then finally using geofencing, we can determine, are you within the four walls of the tool room, and thus very quickly and efficiently get you in and out of the tool room, but also give you accurate tracking of just where things are going and where they're at. Another one along the lines of a simple mobile application is to create your very own expense reporting. So instead of having to do Excel sheets or feeding things in, you have an app on your phone to do expense reporting. And what makes this somewhat unique is leveraging the machine learning engine, which is part of the Azure stack. We can actually take a picture of the receipt, and simply by taking a picture of the receipt, it then determines what type of receipt it is and populates all of the values, the dates, the dollar values, etc., for you. So what used to be probably something that you would have to subscribe to that had a significant cost around it, maybe even was third party to the point, and then trying to integrate it back into your internal data estate or into your internal systems. Now you can do these things relatively inexpensively, and you're leveraging state-of-the-art technology from the machine learning capability and reducing the time it takes to for your sales team out in the field or your service personnel. Here's an example of something that was a little bit more complex from a low-code application. In this case, we have someone who's trying to get from a design, they have a very unique component and they want to manage the design to the quote process. And in this case, the Power App development involved not just a simple mobile deployment, but also a stage gate process with specific values and fields that were required to be filled in prior to it advancing to the next step. So we show this one because, as we know, there are many, many processes and many unique components that have to be reviewed, approved, and workflowed through your business. And in this case, it's a combination of a common data, workflow, and process management come together to automate and control and actually allow the company to take ownership of what may have traditionally been in Excel spreadsheet, floating across the organization, and not even able to analyze or report on. OEE, overall equipment effectiveness, again, maybe a little bit more advanced solution that we've deployed for customers who want a true efficiency analysis of, say, an individual production line or maybe their entire facility. And in this case, OEE can be driven through, say, a mobile app if you're in a very low-tech shop floor, or if you're looking to figure out where you want to invest in your manufacturing 4.0 or smart manufacturing efforts. You can use this OEE and you can start connecting it up to the industry Internet of Things and Azure Hub capabilities, thus allowing you to feed this not just from an individual reporting out at an end of a shift, but actually start feeding it from your other, say, ERP business applications or straight out of the registers on your machines. Shop floor reporting, again, have customers who wanted a very low code, simple, customized approach to recording, say, an hour by hour chart for their manufacturing, as opposed to handwriting it out and then potentially keying that handwritten data into Excel, never really getting it to a true database environment where it can be merged or mashed up, say, with your production planning or other components. So just another great example of those capabilities. Engineering change orders, another area that we see that systemically could be partially managed in your product lifecycle management solution, could be partially managed inside of your ERP, but in the end, there's data that's floating out there that's not being collected, that's necessary for you to get a true visualization and manage your process. This is another interesting one. CapEx requests, very workflow intensive, very specific to a customer. Again, a customer, in this case, we automated the collection, the justification, and the workflow, the approval process, which the CapEx had to go through in order to be approved, and then from there fed into either, say, a fixed asset system or into the financial system. This was a very interesting use case where we had significant amounts of invoices in various formats that had to be collected. And right now, the company employed several individuals to go out and read these forms or these pages, websites, enter the information, and then hopefully enter it correctly. Where there's a significant delay in time as well as accuracy, by using robotic process automation, which is again a key component of the Azure stack. The robots are able to be designed to go out, grab the information in all these different formats very quickly, and turn it into input data, as you see down below. In this case, we fed it straight into an Excel spreadsheet, which was then simply uploaded into the ERP system. But this shows you, again, some of the flexibility you have in that area. One of the applications that Brad had mentioned was container tracking. Container tracking is yet again another example of integrating, say, information from your traffic management solution or your procurement system as to, I'm procuring these overseas components. They are going to get picked up by my freight forwarder. Once I get to my freight forwarder, though, I need to know what's on the water, what's at the consolidation center, what's still waiting to be picked up at the supplier, maybe I have it on a rail or it's sitting at the dock waiting to be offloaded. And all that information generally is very time consuming to collect, or you're into an expensive EDI project, which kind of ties you into that freight forwarder from a long-term perspective, which does not make it easy to negotiate better costs. With utilizing robotic process automation, we can go out and grab this information, pull it off the websites, grab it, analyze it, and then quickly give you analytics, in this case using Power BI, give you insight into exactly where components are, where you may be able to expedite, as opposed to situations where the container is on the water and you can't physically get to it. We've saw this demand for this became very important over the last year as our suppliers were dealing with pandemic-related supply chain disruptions. So with that, I'd like to show you a little bit more of a short video on what we do beyond some of the basic data and management information, because the one thing that you're getting with the Azure framework and the cloud-based capabilities is you're getting advanced technology being added and continually being updated. And here's a great video that shows you of a supplier taking advantage of the HoloLens capability integrated with the Azure solution.
ZIF Transmissions is a worldwide builder of high-end transmissions for luxury and industrial vehicles.
We want to be the technology leader for automotive support autonomous driving. If I want that, I can not only have the best product, I also have to have the best processes. And I have to have the best technology to support our processes.
The passion is about bringing technology that adds value, and not just value to the business process, but value to the people. Because without the people out there on the shop floor, we're nothing.
I'm Matthias Stütz. I try to solve problems that the machines have, that they have less downtime, that we have a higher technical availability. Because if the machines are not running, we're not producing parts, so we don't make money.
I'm Lee Payton. I'm a planning engineer here at ZIF's TG. I receive layouts for new equipment to come into the plant and make adjustments and then place those pieces of equipment in the plant drawing. A lot of times I have to take screenshots at specific angles so that I can get exactly what they want to see, and I have to make adjustments and really have to fill in the blanks with an explanation. And I have a difficult time trying to produce that with the tools that I have.
99% of our equipment comes from Germany and Switzerland. Either they can help us over the phone or they have to fly in. So it could be a day, could be 5 days.
The company that moves the fastest with the most innovative technology is the one who's going to come out on top.
Speaking to someone who has the same machine in Germany and has 10 more years of experience with it, you can figure out problems way more faster.
I saw items that I spent hours on building come into a real-life environment, and I was able to manipulate those and change those to reflect the environment that they're in. That was a great planning tool.
For me, it's a sheer productivity improvement. That we bring the product out to the customer in time, in the quality, and in the cost we need.
When I can do what I love the most and technology helps me with that, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. At the end, it benefits myself because I'm happier, and if I'm happier, I can work better.
I'm a person of very few words. I communicate best through my creative endeavors, so that's the tool that I prefer to use, and hopefully it becomes one of the best tools that I have.
I think one of the takeaways from that we found pretty true is to innovate in this day and age, you have to have the greatest technology. And the greatest technology is always changing. And ultimately, the data estate allows you to pull that data together and take advantage of current technology, future technology, and the things to come. HoloLens has been a real interesting environment for us. We've been prototyping many different customer applications along the lines of production layout to digital twins or helping with debugging or electromechanical repair of highlighting specific issues.
That's great, Doug. Thank you so much. And again, all of those were examples of how to reduce, in the end, how to reduce WIP, right? Taking a lot of these manual processes and applying some technology, innovative technology, to reduce the amount of manual time that you have to spend, and reducing data entry errors potentially, and then providing all of this data back for high-level analytics. Brittany, do we have any questions that came through? That's pretty much it for the presentation.
Yeah, so we got a few that came in throughout the presentation. So the first one, I think, is around supplier quality. The question is, what about supplier portals? Can those be built?
Oh, yeah, great question. We did not provide an example, but one of the capabilities on the Azure platform is web-enabled applications, and leveraging those web-enabled applications, we have built supplier portals in the automotive space. Therefore, communicating not only quality information, but potentially supplier schedules and or confirmations and creation of labels through the portal. So thus giving suppliers who may or may not have EDI capabilities the option to to communicate with you effectively and to generate first pass labels that will be readable when they get to you.
Perfect. Okay, so then the next question that came through is, can we integrate IHS data into demand planning?
Yes, IHS data. We have done several projects where IHS data has been relevant, basically taking the platform information there, breaking it down into the components or the potential components or the opportunity components for individual suppliers. And then that becomes a one of the inputs, maybe not the input, but certainly one of the inputs that is measured against the production plan and the forecast.
Okay. The next one is kind of lengthy, so bear with me. We are operating on an old ERP system. Can any of this be incorporated into the system we have in place, or are we talking full change to see any positive changes?
Okay, so the concept of the data estate is more of an agile approach. Thereby, instead of having to sign up for what we would call a heart transplant, potentially, of a full ERP replacement, we end up with customers who have specific priorities and specific agile-oriented deployments where we take very small chunks, but each piece has its own return on investment. So I guess the short answer to the long question would be, no, you don't have to do an ERP replacement. The objective is to make sure whatever data we need from the ERP is available in the estate, which may require us to extract and translate it to some respect, if depending on the age of the system and the database architecture.
Okay, and I think this last question is similar but worded slightly different. It says, we jumped into a major overhaul of our systems and want to make sure we are putting something in place that will last. Can this data layout be brought into what we already have in progress?
Yeah, I think in this case, the recommendation would be to maybe step back and make sure with the potential of, say, what we would call a North Star process, where Brad was mentioning that we leverage a little bit of our operational excellence team to help make sure that the priorities have been established to return the most efficient investment dollars against the list of activities. Oftentimes we see companies focus on things that may be based upon who is either talking the loudest or the latest and greatest technology, and not necessarily stepping back and making sure that the things that we're doing will truly impact and have a lasting impact on the productivity of the business. So if there is some concern around this, that you have not strategically aligned your executives' objectives to what you've started, it would make sense to maybe step back and do that.
Great. And that was the last of the questions that came through.
Well, terrific. Well, thank you everyone for attending today, and we look forward to having further discussions as appropriate. We've got some contact information here on this webpage. Please feel free to reach out for further information and further details. And thank you again for taking this time out of your day to attend our webinar.